What's going on, guys? It's time for another Friday Night Live, and I'm stuck in my truck. So, lighting is going to suck. But it is what it is. We'll let a few people jump on. Hopefully the signal's all right. I got really good signal here, so. But it's been a great day in Florida. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. There we go. A few people jumping on. That's right. It's 9 o'clock. Everybody jump on and say hi. Right on. Wow. What's up, Chad? Man, I'm sitting in a rest stop. You know what that's all about. This may be where I sleep tonight. Whew, I'm not going to be able to hold it like that. Brandon, what's going on, man? Goodness, must be something going on tonight. Usually doesn't take this long for people to jump on. Am I filming a Blair Witch Project video? What's going on? Yeah, I've got my dang car lights on and a street light sitting at a rest stop down in Florida. Dude, Chad, I caught a monster today on Fellsmere. Not a monster, but it was a seven and a quarter. I parked the kayak and I caught 20 fish without moving. And one was a 7, one was a 4, and I broke off 20-pound fluorocarbon with another one. So, yeah, it was freaking awesome. Oh, goodness. You know what I got to do? Hold on a minute. I know what the problem is. Get to see my messy truck. There we go. Take my phone out of my case and it won't overheat. There we go. What's up, Joe? Perfect. All right. Had to get my phone out of the case or it would have overheated. Forgot my iPad. What's up, Brian? Here we go. Everybody's jumping on now. Awesome, awesome. Felipe, what's going on, man? Carrie, good to see you. Man. Cool. Gavin, I haven't done any deer hunting. I've been down in Florida fishing all week. Had a really good day today. I don't know how many fish I caught. Somewhere around 40 or 50 bass, maybe more. Caught one that was 7 and a quarter, one that was 5. Broke one off on some 20-pound fluorocarbon. Literally, that fish just manhandled me. And I just retied, so I know it wasn't anything crazy. So, oh goodness, did I see Joe? Yep, Joe Nee just said his wife's having a boy. That's awesome. That's awesome. Your daughters are gonna love him. So, all right. Well, we've been talking and smacking enough. Let me get through some business real quick. If you guys have been following my Instagram, you saw a video today about my gift card sale on Flukemastr.com. Oh, and Scott, you need to get me a name of a winner. Anyway, we forgot about that. But we're having a sale on gift cards on Flukemastr.com, 10 to 25% off. You get $20 to $25 off a $100 gift card. So perfect stocking stuffer, perfect for you if you want to go buy some Flukemastr shirts, fishing rods, or whatever. It's on there. So like I said, a 10 to 25% off sale on my gift cards on Flukemastr.com. Second announcement, Angler. This one's pretty cool. So you guys know about this little button if you've watched anything, but Angler's a free app. I'm not trying to make any money on this. They're not trying to make any money on this, but they just changed servers. And they said that it was a really, really powerful server and that there was nothing we could do to crash it. So I'm going to get you guys, and I'm going to announce this a couple of times during this live because I really, really want you guys to do what you can to crash their server. Basically, go sign up. It's free. Get the app. Go on their website. Sign up. Make a profile on Angler and go through it and learn the app a little bit. It's pretty awesome. I marked all my fish today, real simple. I can go back tomorrow and look at what lures I use and everything. But yeah, dude, go crash their server. We've got till Sunday, so today, tomorrow, and Sunday. They're giving me 3 days to see if I can crash it. Awesome. Whew, third one, Bucks Island, in Gadsden, Alabama. Bucks Island Marine is a boat dealership in Gadsden, Alabama that I work with. You guys may remember me doing a live Friday Night Live from there, or a live video from there not too long ago. But they're having a high school fishing event that basically it sold out pretty quick. We sold out all the seats, but we are going to after the seminar. We're going to have a live Q&A on my YouTube channel with me, John and Taylor Cox. Taylor Cox is a college angler who got a full ride scholarship and so on and so forth. And Matt Heron, the elite pro angler. We're going to have a Q&A for about 30 minutes starting at 4 p.m. Central Time from Bucks Island Marine, which is pretty awesome. They're great people. They really treat me good. And the last announcement, and Chad Hoover is on here, Mr. KBF himself, but they're having their 2019 KBF membership drive. If you are a member of KBF, take advantage of upping your membership for 2019 before the prices go up in 2020. And if you're not a member, check it out. I mean, kayak bass fishing is big. And it has a lot to do with KBF. And also, if you want to fish tournaments next year and win a lot of money, it always helps. So go join KBF, go check out their membership drive, or go check out their memberships and check out their website. So I hope I did you good, Chad. I'm pretty whooped. Oh, and I dropped my phone. All right. Let's see. All right, time for some Q&A. Let's see. I didn't see a question anyway. Did you note my girl left your... did you get the note that my girl left on your truck? I saw your truck at the marsh on Thursday. No, I did not get a note. Shoot. I'm sorry. No, I don't remember seeing a note. I'm usually half asleep when I get back to my truck. I wonder if it's still on my... I don't know. Chad says, when are we going to announce the fight date? I don't know, dude. We're going to have to talk about it. I know it's going to be in the spring. So definitely, we're going to definitely have to talk about it. Me and Chad are going to do a boxing match sometime in the spring for... we're going to raise money for our charities. So I can't wait to knock him out. What part of Florida just get back from Disney and did their fishing trip? Caught my personal best. Oh wow, 6 pound 4 ounce at Disney. That's awesome, Wesley. That is awesome. I caught a bunch of really good fish today. I went down to a lake called Fellsmere in Fellsmere, Florida, and it's a kayak fishing only lake for right now. And I paddled 5 miles and went back and found a whole bunch of fish, and my biggest one was 7 1/4. So am I still a fan of Duckett rods? A lot of their rods have changed. I haven't fished them in a couple of years, and I wouldn't really know what they were. But, you know, I don't know. I'm really not. Let's see. Chad, whenever you're ready to nail down the fight date, we could do it, brother. Flukemastr, what do you recommend when it's raining a lot? I usually treat raining just like it's windy. I grab a spinnerbait, I grab a lipless crankbait, and I start chunking it in the shallow water, especially when it's warm. When it's cold, I usually don't fish. I usually stay home because I hate being wet and cold. Corey, fish Fellsmere today, saw your truck, no luck for us today. What's the secret? You know, I caught some trolling down the canal. I was trolling a little fish head spin with a paddle tail on it, trolling down the canal. But I was doing a video, and you guys will see the video shortly. I was doing a video on the new Tokyo rig, and literally I started whacking them. I mean, as soon as I started fishing that thing, and I didn't put a creature bait on it, I actually put a rage cutter worm on there and just started destroying the bass. and I don't know how many I caught. 30, 35, 40. I don't know. I have to look at my my angler app tomorrow and count my fish. So, Chad, I saw your donation. He says, I say we do a fish off and fight. 2 fishing tournaments. You pick one, I pick one, and then we finish with the fight. What do y'all think? That would be freaking awesome. That would be awesome. It's been a while since you fished a tournament, Chad. I guess I can say it's been that while for me too. Let's see. Somebody says he's gonna have to change his name to KOBF. Tate TV. I love fishing. I catch fish, private ponds that I can throw anything in. I watch videos all the time on techniques and other stuff, but I can't retain the info very well. Any tips on how to remember more? Take notes. I know a lot of people that take notes from my videos. And just watch a couple at a time. Don't watch too much. So, Jesse, hey girl, how are you? That's awesome. I've been following your Facebook stuff. So I'll have to message you after this. Anyway, let's see. Chad's on here blowing the place up. Let's see. Sean Titsworth says, "Oh man, I just discovered the Tokyo rig. Can't wait to try it." Man, it's something else. I don't think it's like the greatest thing since cheese and biscuits, but it's a pretty good rig. It just shows them something different. Man, I broke that fish that I broke off. I don't know. It bit like 8 feet from the boat, and it turned and got me up in the grass and broke that 20-pound fluorocarbon like it was nothing. And so I didn't have a chance on that thing. What was the discontinued color jerkbait that you used at the hill? Also the size. It was a Lucky Craft Pointer 78 in Aurora Brown. Good luck finding it. I have 5 of them, and I guard them with my life. See, there's Angler giving us the challenge, ready for you to try your best at crashing our servers. That's right. That's what I said, you guys. Go sign up for the Angler app. It's free, and just dang crash their servers. We're going to have fun. I'm going to be announcing it all day tomorrow on Instagram. So, HF Outdoorsman, hey, can you give me a shout out, please? There's your shout out. Felipe, have you tried the TRD Craws from Z-Man? Those things are amazing. Dude, I saw them at ICAST. I just bought my first. Matter of fact, I got a bag right there in the seat of my truck. And I haven't tried them yet, but I told them when I saw it, I said, this is exactly what I've been catching smallmouth in the rivers on. And I basically would take a baby rage craw and bite it off to make it that small and put it on a Ned rig. So I can't wait to try them. So, best kayak for a tall, large man, a Bonafide SS-127. And if you are over 600 pounds, then you need to get an Hobie. But I don't think you're that big. Chad might be, though. Kevin Fishgull. Gene, been watching for 6 years and wanted you to know that your videos have made me a better fisherman. I used to hate crankbaits, now one of my favorites. Dude, Kevin, I know what you're talking about, man. Thanks for the $5. And, yeah, I'm the same way, man. I freaking hated crankbaits until I grabbed a square bill and decided I would fish it until I learned how to catch fish on it. So, let's see, lipless crankbait, how do you choose what type of rattle sound to use? I let the bass choose that. I will switch back and forth between a one knocker, a two tap, or a regular one or whatever, and I just let the bass tell me. It's not there's no rhyme or reason as to what they want. So, know anywhere in South Texas for bass fishing? I don't, but I bet if you ask Tyler Anderson from Tyler's Real Fishing, he'd be more than glad to help you with that one. That's where he's from. He's got a great YouTube channel. What would you recommend for a deluxe spinning reel other than the CI4? I don't know, man. Off the top of my head, it depends on what your budget is. I'm testing out the new 13 prototype X's, and I love them. They are really, really super lightweight, and they're really strong reels. But I haven't tried any of their larger ones. So, Falcon Lake and Zabawa Racing, whatever that is, Chad. Hey Scott, since you're watching, I need a winner for tonight too. If you can get John to get me one. We got them in Louisiana, the craws. That's awesome. Yeah, he was using them down there. Let's see. Hey Fluke, how long will you fish a bait without a bite before changing it up? and what direction do you go with bait choice? I usually will I fish it until I lose confidence in it is what I do. It has nothing to do with how many casts or anything else. If I've got confidence in the bait I'm throwing, I'm going to throw it. And if it's same thing with the spot that I'm fishing. If I lose confidence in the spot that I'm fishing, I move. And the trick is to get to the point where you recognize that within yourself faster and faster and faster. And I've gotten to the point where I instantly recognize that I've lost confidence in something and I immediately change. And that's where I get to where I can catch fish faster. So let's see. What newcomer bait caster would you recommend for under $200? Wow, a newcomer bait caster for under $200. Man, I wish I had your money. Let's see. I'd stick with somewhere around 120 for an Inception, or $100 for. Well, no, go with an Inception. But if you really want to spend $200 on one, the Concept Z and the A are good. The new Corrado is pretty good from what people are saying. So there's lots of choices at $200. Gene, on lipless crankbait, how do you work it most of the time? Oh, in the early spring, I do a lot of starting and stopping. Go back and watch my old lipless crankbait video to see exactly how that is. But I'll do a lot of stopping and starting on certain lakes along the Tennessee River. I yo-yo it a lot. And then in the fall, it's a dead crank, but I'm ripping it through grass. So, what's my favorite lure for spring? Lipless crankbait or any kind of a crankbait, really. A flat-sided square bill usually has to do with some type of a red color if it's pre-spawn. I'm a bank fisherman interested. Oh, real quick, tonight's winner is Brandon Amos. You win a $25 gift card to Flukemastr.com. You basically, we'll send you an email. Anyway, back to my question. Where was I? Lost it. What's my favorite lure for spring? Okay. Yeah, it usually has to do with a red color. So it's lipless, square bill, flat-sided, and a chatterbait. So Roy Reagan, ever use a float tube? Yes. I used a float tube before kayaks were popular. And it really was for me. I'm sweating to death. I'm in Florida. Come on. Hey Gene, or hey Scott, I keep trying to sign up to Gene's website and it won't let me. Ooh, yeah, that's something to talk to Scott about. That's for sure. Thanks to your lipless crankbait video, I caught my personal best on Thanksgiving Day. 7 pounds on a lipless, dude. That's freaking awesome. Actually, the ones I'm holding up in the picture for that video are both exactly 7 pounds. Actually, one's 7, one was a little shy of 7, if I remember correctly. So, are you going to make some videos like you used to make? Yes, I did today. I made one today about the Tokyo rig. I made 2, I think 3 yesterday. And then I made another one the day before that. I just haven't gotten home so I can send them to my editors. So, yeah, dude, I'm cranking those suckers out. So, let's see. Thanks, Wesley. Let's see. Luz has 4 or 5 reels on sale today. Only at Tackle Warehouse. 40% off. That's really good, man. Why is fishing so addicting? In your opinion, you don't have to answer this question because it would take a long time to answer. There are so many reasons. I'll tell you, if you ever watch my videos where I just catch a good fish, a good solid fish, and my reaction to those fish, especially today when I caught that big 7, that's why I fish. I fish for the bite. I was a deer hunter growing up. I was a great deer hunter. I love the stalk. I love the hunt. I love to be able to find them. And fishing is a lot more challenging because you can't see what you're trying to catch. And so you have to go with what you think is there and what you think is going on, and you have to put all these puzzle pieces together. And that is why I love fishing. I live for the bite. Once I get bit, I don't know what's going on with my freaking thing. Once I get bit, then it's a whole different story, man. I don't know. I just live for the bite. That's it. So, cold weather kayak fishing, what kind of clothing, specifically footwear and pants, do you wear? I actually wear, and Chad, you'll have to tell me exactly what the model is, but I wear a pair of NRS bibs, and I wore them today and I wore them yesterday because the water temperature was in the low 60s and it was blowing cold. And they have a real tight waist to them, so if I ever fall in, the water doesn't get into the bottoms of them really fast. And then I wear a jacket over top of it that has a tight waistband, both NRS. Go check out NRS's stuff. They really have some great cold weather kayak stuff, and it's specifically for kayaking. It's not cheap, but it'll save your life. So let's see. Oh, another thing, I've got a video that I just launched with Jacob from Angler. Go check it out. It's the Chickamauga video. I totally forgot I can't read my own handwriting, but go to angler.com/Flukemastr and check out that video. And a lot of you guys have probably already seen it on my YouTube channel. So let's see. What is your go-to baits for 48 to 53 degree water, sunny and cloudy? I fish a fluke really slow. I flip fish a jerkbait and I drag a jig are the ones I use when the water temperature gets below 53. Very rarely do I change from there. So Brian Robinson lives in Crossville, Tennessee. That's pretty close to Chad. Deeper smart sonar. Just got one today. What do you think of them? To be honest with you, they're more like a video game than they are a fish finder. They really are a good fish finder, but for me, the way I see it is that when you upgrade to another fish finder, to a real one, not real one, but upgrade to one like on a boat or something like that, a regular fish. Going from a deeper to that is going to be a lot more difficult because you'll have to relearn what you're looking at and what you see. With something like the sonar phone, which is only $100, you go from something that looks exactly like a fish finder to a regular one on your boat, and it looks the same. That's why I always recommend that one. So, let's see. Have you used the Hero 7? I have not. Scott has. I haven't bought one yet. I still have Hero 3s. I have 5 Hero 3s and 2 Hero 5s. And yeah, I'm still using those. So I use them until they wear out. What's my favorite jerkbait to throw and what color? I don't really have a favorite jerkbait. Oh, and I'll go through 15 or 20 colors before the bass tell me what they want. So I can't tell you. If it's clear water, go with a clear jerkbait. If it's stained water, go with a white jerkbait that you can't see through. And if it's muddy water, don't go with a jerkbait. So go with something else, like a black and blue jig. What's my opinion on loose bait casters? I haven't used a loose bait caster in about a year and a half. I can tell you what happened to me a couple of years ago. I had a spinning reel and I had a bait caster, and the bait caster, the gears seized up on me and it was fairly new. It was only like a month and a half old, and it was their expensive one and their tournament light. And then the handle broke off of the spinning reel. So that's kind of my experience with loose. So I'm probably not one to ask for a good opinion on loose. So yeah, I heard the Hero 7 is pretty good. I've got a Sony, little Sony handy cam, not a handy cam, but a little Sony sport cam. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really good too. You been crappie fishing lately? Nope, I have not. Probably could have today because there's a lot of people out in the lake that I was in crappie fishing. So, do I tend to use shorter rods in a kayak versus a boat? Actually, no. I like rods that have shorter grips or shorter handles. I don't like them any longer than 9 inches. So, definitely. or the Mega Bass jerkbait's worth $25. I bought 2 of them for the first time about a month, about 3 weeks ago, and I haven't caught anything on them yet. So I would give me the whole winter to try those 2 out. So, what rods do I use? I'm sponsored by 13 Fishing. Been with them for 2.5 years. And the reason I stay with them is because I still feel that they are the best value on the market. So I really feel like their $80 rods are worth about $120, and their $100 rods are worth about $140, $150. They're just really good rods for the price. So let's see. John from Crank It Up is on. What's going on, John? How many rods would you have rigged for KBF tournament, and what rods would you pick? Then again, it depends on where I'm fishing. But I typically, when I go fishing seriously, like today, I had 5 rods on the boat. If I was in a tournament, I'd have 3 or 4 more rods inside my inside my bona fide. I'd have 4, maybe 5 more rods just in case. But I usually only have 5 rods on the boat. Let's see, and what rods they are just depends on where I'm at. Bought a whopper plopper last summer and only managed to catch a garfish. I know the feeling, man. Oh man, Chad gave me we were at Long Branch Lakes, which is like a really really good big fish lake, and he gave me that stupid whopper plopper buzzbait, and I got 40 bites on the blades and not on the hook. I was about ready to die. So, how do you enter local bass fishing tournaments? This is probably my top bass fishing question ever. What are the requirements? What gear is necessary? How many rods should one buy before entering? Woo, goodness, that's a loaded question. The local tournaments that I fish are usually like the Wednesday night tournaments or the Friday night tournaments, and basically you just show up and pay your entry fee and go fishing. And if you're a co-angler, limit your rods to 4 to 5 rods and a bag of tackle. And everything else is just from experience. The biggest thing is go as a co-angler if you can. I mean, if you get a buddy that you want to team fish with or whatever else and learn from him. But the biggest thing is a lot of times you just kind of show up, and then you get to talking to people and you figure out what fishing clubs there are in the area, and then you join those fishing clubs. It's pretty much all from word of mouth. At least around here it is. So, Michael Poplin, Lucky Tackle Box. What lure can I use for my first time bass fishing? Let me think. A Texas rigged trick worm is what I would use. I've got a video on what tackle to get for your first tackle box, for your beginner's tackle box, that I just did this spring. You ought to go watch that. What fishing gear do you recommend for Christmas? I don't know. I'm not getting any. Let me think. I don't know. Go to Flukemastr.com. There's my shameless plug, and check out the tackle and the equipment that I have on there. Actually, one really good thing I have on there is that I think it's a Berkley line spooling station. I think Berkley makes it. Anyway, I've got one. I use it a lot, and it just packs away in my box, and it's just a really small, really nice line spooling station. I love it. Have you guys had any rotator cuff issues from kayak fishing? Nope, I have not. I paddle with my back mostly. How many rods are you allowed to carry when normal fishing? I don't know. However many you want. It's how many you're fishing with. States tend to have issues with. Some states only let you fish with 1 at a time. Some 2 at a time. You just have to look. You have to look at your regulations. But I have 25 rods in my bass boat at any given day. So thanks, Kelly. I appreciate it. Scott Butcher says he carries 6 as a co-angler and backpack of tackle. Yeah, that's about right. You don't want to take up too much space of the guy's boat. What's the average bass tournament entry fee in your experience? Pot tournaments range between 30 and 45 or $50, depending on the tournament. Usually somewhere around 30. There's some really good ones. I had one growing or years ago that I used to fish in Jackson at Jackson Lake, Georgia, and the big fish pot rolled over. If somebody didn't catch one over 8 pounds, the big fish pot rolled over, and it kept rolling over and kept rolling over, and all of a sudden the big fish pot was $5,000, and 200 boats would show up on a Tuesday night, and that's when the payout got really good. Man, me and my buddy made a lot of money that year. We didn't catch the big fish, but dadgummit, we took a lot of money from people. Anyway, let's see. Does your wrist hurt after a long day chatterbaiting? Nah, not really. Do you use the twist lock hooks from Owner? I sometimes do. When I'm down here fishing big swim baits on twist lock hooks, as a mosquito in my truck. Anyway, I use the big Gambler 6/0 since that's what they were made for. So for a 13 fishing rod here in Australia, $200 to $300. Woo! Ouch. Ollie says, dude, your website is amazing. Just visit it. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Tips for winter pond bass fishing. Fish very slow and fish small baits that don't have a lot of action. Straight tail worms are probably my favorite to fish farm ponds in the wintertime. Yeah, that's what I would do. Just really slow, lightweight stuff. Have you ever fished Saguaro Lake in Arizona? No, I have not. I'm always looking for tips fishing around my local fishing holes. See you later, John. Let's see. The biggest thing is, yeah, that's a good, who says, Kelly, that's a really good suggestion. It says, get in a club to start tournament fishing. Definitely. Go to those pot tournaments, go to a local tackle shop, figure out what the clubs are, join the clubs, figure out what their need is if you don't have a boat or whatever else. So it just, whether you need your own boat or not, it just depends on the tournament and the club. A lot of clubs will let inexperienced guys become co-anglers. So that means you're fishing from the back of the boat. Adrian Warfield, what are your thoughts on magnetic transducers? I am in a Flint and not sure how I should set up electronics without a dry pack. I know that, oh my gosh, my mind just went blank. Dang it. One of my good buddies has a new canoe, and he, Everett Parks, he's the pro staff director for New Canoe, and he uses the magnetic one, and he loves it. So I don't see any issue at all with that. Just make sure you have it tethered. The plantation place I fish is awesome. Yes, it is. Let's see. Joshua Thibodeau, don't tell me that. I don't want to hear anything about the bite being on fire in Louisiana. My wife's upset with me enough. I just spent 4 days in Florida. I've had trouble detecting bites on a jig. Any suggestions? Yes, Michael. I made a video about this yesterday. Matter of fact, go out in the yard, take a buddy with you, give your buddy a pencil, make a cast with your jig out in the yard. Close your eyes, drop your line to a semi-slack line, meaning there's a bow in it, and have your buddy go to the other end with your eyes closed. Have your buddy tap the line, and that's what a jig bite feels like. Just tap it. He doesn't have to beat the crap out of it. Just tap the line. All right. So Angler is saying this again, and I'm going to read it. We are challenging anyone here to crash our servers. Let's test these new puppies out. Create an account and heat these servers up. I love it. I love it. That's my challenge. They challenged me to crash their servers in the next 3 days. So as soon as we get off of here, guys, go sign up for Angler. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. You don't even have to order one of these little buttons right here. They're nice. They're really good to have, but just go create an account on Angler. It'd be awesome. Number 8 tackle elite rods on clearance at Gander for $59. Number 8 tackle elite rods. I've never even heard of those. Number 8 tackles hadn't been around for 2 years. Huh. Yeah, I'd get it for a lot cheaper than that if I were you. Have you ever fished with a hydro wave? I have. I love them. I love the one I had on my old boat. It was better to have it than not to. It's like it rattles on a jig. It's better to have a rattle on a jig than not to have a rattle on a jig. Sometimes it makes a difference, and sometimes it don't. Best line to fish submerged grass. Whew. You're talking to somebody who caught almost a 10-pound bass out of the grass with an 8-pound test fluorocarbon. I'd say something that doesn't have a whole lot of stretch, fluorocarbon or braid. So fluorocarbon would be my first choice. Richard Cathy. Well, man, I'm truly sorry that the Bulldogs lost last weekend. But now for a fishing question. Do you have any tips or tricks on techniques and the best 10-inch worm to choose for bass fishing? Goodness. Let's see. 10-inch worm. I usually fish a Zoom Mag 2 or an old Monster, the ones that are around 10 inches. That's my first choice for a big worm. I'm not really picky when it comes to big worms. I mean, I've fished a 14-inch worm for days and days and caught a lot of big fish on it, so it just depends. Gosh, might get hot. Yes, I'm in Florida. What is my favorite rod? Gosh. My favorite rod actually is not even out on the market yet, and it's not this isn't a shameless plug or anything else, but they just nailed this rod. It'll come out in the spring. It's called the Chatter Crank rod from 13. It's one of those ugly green Fate Blacks, but it's made for chatterbaits and square bills, which is what I throw a lot of, and it just is the perfect chatterbait rod. So yeah, that had to be my favorite one. Do you need your own bass boat to enter a tournament? There are some local tourneys on my lake. However, I don't have a bass boat. David, let me give you a suggestion. Go find somebody who's a member of a club and a bass fishing club. Look in the newspaper. Look, the community publications will have clubs that have openings, and go talk to their president and find out what their rules are. A lot of clubs don't require guys to have a bass boat. Those guys become co-anglers, and they fish in the back of the boat with an angler in the front of the boat that owns the boat. So that's what I would do. So have you ever fished Beard Springs at Rocky PFA recently? I fished Rocky recently. I've never heard of Beard Spring. Do you ever, and I only live 10 minutes from there, do you ever fish mono, and what situation would you use it? The only time I ever fish mono is when I'm fishing topwater. And it's usually topwater like spooks, where I've got to have the line up high so the line doesn't pull down. So spooks and poppers would be monofilament. That's it. I don't fish it for anything else. It's fluorocarbon or braid. So a Brazex Felipe is what I use 100% of the time for fluorocarbon. Do you ever fish mono? Oh, I already read that question. Sorry. Do you like to use O-rings or heat shrink tubing when throwing a wacky rig? I use O-rings just because I have a buttload of them. So what's the worst rod and reel you have ever used? Oh, no, I'm going to get myself in trouble. The worst rod and reel I've ever used was a Cast King combo that they sent me to do a review. And I called them right after I used it the first day and told them, actually, I refused to do a review. I told them they had a lot they needed to fix on it. That was the worst rod and reel I ever used. Ever fished any lakes in Kentucky? What's your favorite? I've fished Kentucky Lake, both ends of it, and that's the only one I've fished in Kentucky. I need to get up there and fish, what's that one that's got all the stumps in it? Like Pine something. I can't remember what the name of it is. So do you think a chatterbait rod should have a moderate action like a crankbait rod, maybe heavy power? I think the perfect chatterbait rod is a medium heavy, moderate action rod with a little bit more backbone than you think it should. It's kind of hard to explain. But yeah, medium heavy moderate is usually what I'll go with. So when is the last time you broke one of your fishing items? When was the last time I broke one of my fishing items? Oh my! As a one of the things my sponsors love about me is that I'm brutally honest. Another thing they love about me is that I love breaking their stuff because that's what I'm supposed to do. And literally, and I tell you, 13, that's what they want me to do. I get a phone call from their reel guy once or twice a month, and he has questions for me about the reels that I'm using. So I break a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff I do it on purpose. And so yeah, it's been a few days. Does braid color matter in stained water? No, it doesn't. I'm in Louisiana, and most of the water is stained. Also, the redfish bite is on right now. Shut up, Josh. Gosh, I'm not going to Louisiana yet. I want to go, but I'm no, I'm not. Let's see. How often do you get out to fish on your average week? I try to go 3 to 4 times a week. So, except when the weather sucks, which has been like all fall and all and summer was horrible too. This has been the worst year for weather. So, Adrian, I'm sorry I had to read your question first. I want to get into creating my own lures and molds. However, don't know where to start. Go to a website called Tackle Underground. I don't know if it's still around, but back when I was into building my own jigs and stuff, I went to Tackle Underground, and it's just full of guys that create tackle and make lures and all kinds of other stuff. I know a bunch of guys who are making a living doing it now that started there. So, man, that lighting just sucks. Of course, I had a lot of sun today. Can you tell? Who's the best chatterbait fisherman out there? I don't know. There's a bunch of them. Let's see. P.S. Kathy says your website merch guy is really nice. Called me to make sure I was okay with a delay before processing the order. Yep, that's John. He is amazing. He is absolutely. I'm gonna keep him around for a while, I think. So he's actually a bass fisherman too, an old school bass fisherman. I mean, he's probably forgot more about bass fishing than I'll ever know. How often do you use a June bug soft plastic bait? I used 4 bags of them today. It was a rage cutter worm in June bug, and that's what the bass were biting down here in Florida. So I usually use it in that Florida color, tannic black water is what I usually use it in. And I use it in the summertime too. For some reason, I like it. How was your fishing in Florida? Where did you fish? John, I fished in Fellsmere, which is a kayak only lake. Today I caught somewhere between 30 and 40, maybe more fish. I haven't looked at the numbers yet. Biggest one was 7 1/4. The next one down was probably 5 1/2, and I broke off one that was huge. I can't even begin to tell you how big it was. The mouth looked like it was the size of my head. Chase Lane, you are absolutely right. He says there's no such thing as fall this year. Summer went to winter. It sure did. Hey, Gene, planning at being at any of the Northeast region KBF trail events? I don't know. Chad's got me a schedule. You have to ask him. I'm actually going to officiate some of the KBF events this year. So I know I'm going up to Wisconsin or Minnesota or somewhere in February. But that's not for a KBF event. It's for a show. Let's see. Favorite color, Bonafide. Mine is Hondo. You like the Hondo orange? That's not a bad color. The new seafoam green. I don't even know what they call it. I'm horrible with those names, but I love that thing. I think I want to put the brown pads on the inside of it. I think it look like it's teak. So it'd be awesome. June bug and Bama bug are killer colors in Florida. Yes, they are. How are you doing this week, Fluke? Sorry, I'm a bit late to this. Preston, I'm doing pretty good. It reminds me, you guys that are getting on here and just got on here, go to angler.com, sign up for free for and get their app on your phone. They challenged me this week, today, tomorrow, and Sunday to crash their new server. And so, yeah, as soon as you get off here, be sure to do that. We got about 15 minutes left, though. Fluke, I looked up the Kentucky Lake for you. Was it Pine Knob? I can't remember. I think it was. I'd have to look at it. I know it's got a lot of stumps in it. So, how much do you bench? I figured I'd throw out something totally off topic. I love it. I have not benched in 100 years. Right now I'm trying to get back to where my joints don't hurt, so I'm benching somewhere around 180. Depends on the morning, and but I haven't maxed out at all. I have a really bad shoulder thanks to the United States Army, and so I'm really careful with that shoulder, so I don't try to overdo it. What do you think about MLF format? Do you think it will replace bass? I don't think it'll replace it, but I think it will jump up in front really, really quick. I love the format. I think it's going to be awesome. So, let's see. Ryan Jones, I'm going to have to try June bug. I've always used watermelon red down here. I'm in South Florida. That's a Texas color, dude. I mean, that's like your quintessential Texas color is watermelon red. Yeah, get a black and blue, and get a June bug and get a June bug. And those are the colors that you need. And actually, the Bama bug is pretty good too. But down that far south, black and blue and June bug are the only colors you need to be throwing for a long time. Would you throw a 10XD on 17-pound of Braze X? Yes, I would. That's actually what I throw it on. And it's not too stiff for that. I'm trying to convince my wife to get an RS-117 for a buddy boat just to get that green color. Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I have a 117 on my trailer behind my truck. Let's see. Can you put it in the description? I always forget. Yeah, I can put it. Yeah, I can. I sure can. Let's see. It's angler.com. ANGLR.com is what it is. Take the E out of angler. Any brand of light jackets you prefer? I use the Chinook, the NRS Chinook for kayaking and for boating. It's just comfortable. It seems like a bulky PFD, but really you forget that it's on there, and it's got pockets and stuff that hold all my stuff so I can get to it real quick. There's Angler right there. So ANGLR. Gabriel Taylor, do I live in Georgia? Yes, most of my life. I live in Rome, Georgia now. So, Ryan, where in South Florida are you? Okay, never mind. That's not for me. Do you think Gary Yamamoto Senkos are too expensive? I've always thought Gary Yamamoto Senkos are too expensive. That's why I refuse to fish them. I do fish them though, isn't that right, Chad? I don't even think Chad's on here anymore. Let's see. Anglers offering the challenge again. Bet we can't crash their servers. Man, I can't wait for the next 3 days. If I don't do it, I don't know. I may have to get on here and rag everybody. So Brandy B says, thanks for your service. I appreciate it. It was a blast. One thing I don't ever want to go back and change was my 6 years in the Army. How long did you serve? There was my answer. Let's see. I was in 6 years, 1996 to 2002. So favorite chatterbait trailer is actually a Fluke. Not a Super Fluke Junior, not a Super Fluke, but it's called the Zoom Fluke. And it's my favorite trailer. I have 6 bags of different colors of trailers, of Zoom Flukes for those trailers. My second favorite one is the Rage Blade Minnow, I think is what it's called. No, it's the Strike King Blade Minnow. Let's see. Bet you're glad you're in Florida with Georgia getting some nasty weather the next few days. No, actually, Brian, I'm on my way home. I'm sitting in a rest stop. I'll be home tomorrow morning, and so I can take care of the farm during that nasty weather. So I'll see you there, bro. Could you use smaller GPS transducer? They look very bulky on your cap. Oh, it's because my phone is so close to my face. It actually doesn't get in the way at all. I have it flipped around right here because when I'm fishing, I have to remember it's there. If I turn it around on the other side, I forget it's there, and so I forget to hit the button. So I have it sitting right there so I'll see it, and so it does get in the way. But typically, it'll stay right up here on the top, and it's not too bulky. It's only about the size of 4/4. So let's see. Magnolia Coast with Colin says, have you ever used a double fluke rig? Don't know exactly what it's called. Just saw someone using it. It looks interesting. Yes, I have. I have an old video on the double fluke rig. Go to my main channel and look it up. But dude, it's awesome. It really is. Especially I kind of cut my teeth fishing big lakes on the lake that it originated on. So that's kind of the reason why I fish it. Any Alabama rig stories? No, I don't really fish them much. I've caught a few fish this year on one, but I don't like that many hooks getting into one fish because it hooks them everywhere. Cam, don't be, you're full of crap, dude. I'm not even gonna read that. That's so full of crap. That old boat lock south of Rome. I don't know what that means, Kelly. It must be someone else's comment. Which data is recorded when you push the button? When you push the button, your GPS is recorded. If you've already preset the tackle that you're using, it's recorded. The only thing you have the option of doing is taking a picture of the fish and entering the weight. And then you can enter a couple of other things. But that's typically what I do is if it's a good fish, if it's a dink, I don't take a picture of it. But if it's a good fish, I'll take a picture of it, and then I'll enter the weight of it after I put it on the scale. So, and Preston, that's exactly what the button does. I catch a fish, I hit the button, and it's kind of funny. It makes a ding. I'm gonna take it off of here, but it makes a ding on my phone when I hit the button, and I have gotten so addicted to that ding, that sound. It's not even funny. I call it the sound of success, and that's exactly what it is. I reach up, I hit it, and it goes bing, and I'm like, yes. I don't know. It's just gotten addicting. What? Let's see. The Fish Brain app. I tried it in its infancy, and I really didn't like it, but that was years ago, so I don't really have an opinion on it right now. The Bullseye button records waypoints and catches. The free app records coordinates, weather, water, GPS paths, notes, tackle, and etc. Exactly. You just sit down on the app and you start putting in your tackle and your rods and reels and stuff like that, and it makes things a whole lot faster on the water. Is exactly what you can do. I've got to actually sit down at my desk and spend some time going through what rods I have and put it on the app. Do you save dinks on the angler? Yes, I do. I haven't decided on whether to save them yet. You know what? The reason I save dinks is because later on, maybe a year from now, if I'm fishing the same body of water, I'm fishing the same conditions, I can go into my angler app and I can see where I caught fish. It doesn't matter if it was a dink or a big one. I can see where I caught fish. Or, for instance, when we were on Chickamauga, I took the information I found. We had an okay day of fishing the first day, and I looked at the information that I had, and I had saved every dink and everything else, and I figured out exactly where those fish were. And me and Jacob went the very next day to those locations on a totally different creek and caught tons of fish, and he caught his new personal best. So it really does help break down a pattern when you're really having a tough day of fishing. Let's see. Scott, oh yeah, I'm saving dinks on angler because Scott, that's all you catch. Dinks, just little ones. I don't want to hear it. You have to save dinks. It's the only way you'll be able to log anything on angler. Golly. So now if you hear the sound anywhere else, you feel like you just caught fish. Yep, exactly right. Saw that fish Jacob caught tonight. That was a stud, man. I was so happy for him, it wasn't even funny. Who else in the world can say they caught their personal best on a fluke fishing with the Flukemastr? Nobody. Not a person. Anybody but Jacob's the only one. I think it's freaking awesome. If you're in South Georgia, Valdosta area, I got a blow-up mattress you can use. I actually have one in the back seat of my truck. It's a pretty cool one. It fits perfectly in the back seat, and that's where I sleep. I usually pull into a rest area like this one right here, and I crash. So, when do you fish in Iowa during the summer? It's 90, and during the fall, I don't know. I don't fish in Iowa. I have no clue, bro. Let's see. Joshua, I'm going to ban you from my chats if you keep talking about redfish fishing. You know how much I love it. I'm just going to block you. That's it. It's over. Scott, that's a good question. What's my top 5 Bass Lakes list? My favorites, my top 5 would be Fellsmere Lake that I just left. That place is off the charts. Number 2 would be Lake Wilson for right now until the carp get in there. Number 3 would be Chickamauga. Number 4. I don't know what number 4 is. Those are the only top 3. I can't think of 4 and 5, Scott. Sorry, bro. Off the top of my head. Let's see. Brian Robs. Oh, here's a good one. Mark says, wish I would have known you coming to Florida. I live on a lake that would give you a run for your money. That'd be awesome, dude. Yeah, I made the decision on Sunday that I was going to leave on Monday, so there was no making an announcement or anything else. I got an Airbnb and I took off down to Florida as fast as I could. So, let's see. What do you think about Nature's Tackle Box? I have never seen that one. I got no clue. What's your favorite fluke color, baby bass or pearl? I am a gambler, Big Easy or Zoom Salty Super. And big. Okay, so favorite fluke color is white ice. Favorite Big Easy is what's the one that's Copperfield is the one I always buy. So, and the Zoom Salty Super Fluke is the same thing as white ice is what I get. Have you fished Falcon Lake in Texas? I have not. I forgot Del Hollow. I did not forget Del Hollow. I've only fished it once, so I don't know a whole lot about it. So, yeah. Are you going to hit up Okeechobee at all next year? I don't know, dude. I've got to look and see what my schedule is. We'll see. That's a long haul, and I usually stay there for about a week and a half when I go. So I just going to have to fit it in the schedule. I really want to, though. I love Okeechobee. Oh, gosh. Oh, boy. Have you had trouble with catching turtles this year? No, I have not. I haven't caught any turtles this year, I don't think. Yeah, I did. I caught one soft shell, big one at the Anvil Plantation. See, any interest in muskie fishing? Always interested in muskie fishing. Yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Right now, we can't fish in Michigan because there's ice, but not enough. So I am sitting duck. So I'm a sitting duck right now. I haven't fished in a really long while, dude. You know they're selling houses and they got job openings down here in the South, right? I mean, you can always just move down here. Just saying. But yeah, dude, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Ever fished Mille Lacs in Minnesota? I did this summer. I had a really good time. I fished 3 or 4 days there. Yeah, it was a blast. That might be on my top 5 list. Mille Lacs is pretty cool. It was fun to go catch smallmouth, and I've never fished for smallmouth in a big lake, so it was fun to be able to go find them by myself and catch them. Have I got to fish the Envy Black 2 yet? Yes, I've got one right. Well, I can't get to it. Right here in my truck, and you're gonna love them. You really are gonna love them. The one I've got here is a pre-production. They're gonna tweak like the chrome has got to be tweaked a little bit and stuff like that. But I'm gonna get some final pre-production models in the next couple of weeks and test them out too. So, but yeah, they're really nice. They're pretty, man. They're gorgeous. I mean, shoot, if I was looking for a fashion model, I'd get one that looked like that. But anyway, where's the best place to buy a kayak in Atlanta? Fletch Griffin. Let me think. What's that place in Athens? No, I'm kidding. Westbrook Supply Company is the only place that I know of to buy kayaks in Atlanta. But man, it's an awesome shop. Oh, Fletch, you're unreal. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna ask 2 more questions, and I'm gonna get to actually before I answer 2 more questions. seriously, guys, after this is over, go try to blow up the Angler, ANGLR, angler.com, and create a profile. Download the app on your phone, both iPhones and Android, and try to blow up their server. I really, really want to. It's one of those things where when they challenge me, I'm like, okay, I got that, you know. And I'd basically look at them and say, challenge accepted. And I really want to blow up their server. So, MR40 in Utah, we are in our second year of drought. Yes, you are. I got a brother that lives in Logan. It is so bad that you have to bring your own water with you. Lakes are so low that having access to them is an issue. Wow, that's pretty bad, dude. Yeah, I've got family in Utah. I got a brother that lived in Draper. He now lives in Seattle, but I got another brother that lives in Logan. Most of my family's out there. So, let's see. Need to fish Clear Lake with tactical bass, and it'd be awesome. Yes, I do. Kayak fishing big in Georgia, blowing up here on the Gulf Coast. Yes, it is. It's pretty big in Georgia. So, are you going to try to convince 13 to change the bright green rod? No, I'm going to try to convince them that the next model rod does not need to be bright green. The green color is already said and done, and I don't have that much clout, but I'm always the one. And you guys have noticed every time I talk about them, I say those ugly green rods. I fish them. I have 3 or 4 of them right here. I fish them because they're great rods and they're great blanks and they feel great, but they're green of all things. But they get, I mean, people buy them. It's a love-hate relationship. So let's see. Don't forget to put the button back. I got a spot right up here in my truck, right up on my visor that the button goes, so I don't put it back on my hat. Let's see. So I got a request for a tactical bass and collab this next year, which I am going to hit him up and make sure that happens. That's a good, Adrian, that's a good question. I'm a little over, but could you or Chad do a kayak bass fisher's buyer's guide? Go check his channel. I know he made one about kayaks less than $1,000 or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but go look his channel. He's done a few videos like that. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm going to jump off of here. I'm sorry if I didn't get to everybody's question. You guys are awesome. I'm going to see if I can drive for another couple, 2-3 hours before I pull off the side of the road and crash. Not crash literally, but go to sleep. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for joining me. And go crash the Angler website and go check out KBF and join KBF if you want to get into kayak bass fishing tournaments and that kind of stuff and win a lot of money this year. So that's all right. That's it. All right, guys. We'll take it easy. Have a good weekend and stay out of trouble and be safe.